Does anyone remember slopes of parallel lines are, if my lines are parallel, they look like this. They're the same slope, so you could say equal or the same. Draw yourself a little picture. These are my parallel lines. Boop, boop. They're never going to intersect. Okay, how about slopes of perpendicular lines?
Inverse.
Okay, I know. It's like, which of those fancy words do we need to use? How about this? We're going to work backwards. If the slope was 2/3, what's the perpendicular slope to that? -3/2. Well said. Okay, let's do another one. What if the slope was -7? What is the perpendicular slope? Say that again. Is +1/7. One more. What if my slope was -1/4? What is the perpendicular slope? 4. So I heard someone say it. Well, let's first think about, what did we say? If this was 2/3, this was negative. If this was negative, this was positive. If this was negative, this was positive. So what word would we use first in this blank, do we think? Opposite. Instead of positive, it's negative, so it's just the opposite. And then what happens when we've got 2/3 turns into 3/2? 7 turns into 1/7. Reciprocal. I know, such hard words. So I'm going to use that terminology a lot. Opposite, reciprocal. If slopes are perpendicular, they're always going to be opposite reciprocals of one another. So I said, hey, here are these two graphs. Are they parallel, perpendicular, coinciding? And you're like, what the heck does that mean? If probably on Friday night, who's our football? Femi, who's also playing football, Danny, probably coincided with the opposite team. And that just means you're the exact same, okay? Coinciding lines are the exact same line. Coinciding, I'm just saying yes. Ran into them. Let's remind ourselves, that just means it's literally the exact same line. The exact same line. So I'm going to even give you a little example off to the side. What if I said y equals 2x plus 4, y equals 2x plus 4, and 3y equals 6x plus 12. Are those going to be the exact same line? Yeah. Yes, so that's what we would call coinciding. Okay, they're the exact same line. If I got my y equals mx plus b, they'd be the exact same thing. So that's an example of coinciding. All right, would these two lines be parallel, perpendicular, coinciding, or neither? What's the slope of this first one? 5. What's the slope of the second one? Are they the exact same? That would be parallel. Are they opposite and reciprocals? No, so they're not perpendicular. So parallel, perpendicular, or neither? Neither. Very good. How about this one? I'm going to look right here. What's the slope of this one? Yeah, currently over here, we actually can't say the slope until it's in y equals mx plus b. Is this one in y equals mx plus b? No, what would it be once it is?
Minus 6x.
Very good. It'd be that negative 6x minus 2. So now what's the slope of this one? Negative 6. And what's the slope of this one? Are they opposite and reciprocals? Yeah, therefore they are perpendicular. If anyone doesn't want to write all of those letters, you could always just do the perpendicular symbol, which is like this. I would totally accept this with no words because that totally means perpendicular. If you wanted to say, oh, well, I guess I haven't shown you yet an example of parallel. I'll show you that. How about this one? What's this one's slope? Y equals mx plus b. What's my m here? You got it, Tay? 1, boop, that's my slope. Do we know what the slope is of this one yet? No, let's go get it. Let's go get my y by itself. So we have y equals, I'm going to just go throw that y over there. You know what I'm saying? I can move the other stuff. I'm going to add y instead. What would I get for my y equals then?
Y equals negative x plus parallel.
Ooh! Ooh. What's my slope of this one?
-1.
-1. What was my slope of this one?
1.
1.
So neither.
Well, are they opposite, positive and negative? What's the reciprocal of 1?
-1.
Yeah, the reciprocal of 1 is 1 still, because 1 was just 1 over 1. The reciprocal is going to be 1 over 1 again, and then it's just negative. So what are these ones going to be? Perpendicular. Yeah, that one's a trick. Okay, you guys, let's look at this next one. I gave you a little graph. I said, determine whether these are parallel, coinciding, perpendicular, neither, then graph them. Again, what do we need to do first? You know it. Let's go get that into y equals mx plus b. You guys want to subtract 3x or add 4y? I don't care. I'm down with that. Subtract 3x. So you're saying negative 4y equals negative 3x minus 12? Oh, thanks. Plus 12. Guys, what happens when we divide by that negative 4? Yeah, so we're going to get a y equals. What about that slope? What would that slope turn into? 3/4. Thanks, Danny Main. 3/4 x. And then what? Nice. 12 divided by negative 4 is negative 3. Awesome. How about that next one? What are we doing first on that guy? I'm down with that. Negative 12y, she said, let's subtract that 9x. I'm putting it in front of the 72, so it's kind of like that y equals mx plus b form. Divide by that negative 12. Let's just simplify. What is negative 9 over negative 12? They both go, 3 goes into each of them. 3/4. 3/4 x. She said positive because a negative over negative is a positive. Ooh, I hear those calculators out, but we're smart people. We can do this. 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, 72. Awesome. So that's going to be a little plus 6. Minus 6? You guys, step up. You guys say, I don't think so. Okay, so you guys, right off the bat, do we think that these will be parallel, perpendicular, or neither? Parallel, because they both have the same slope. Let's go graph it. Where we start in this guy? Down 3 on that y-axis. This is like more practice of what you did on your Quizzy Poo. And then my slope is 3/4, so I'm going to rise 3, run 4. Rise 3, run 4. Rise 3, run 4. I'll get a straight edge if anyone wants them. You guys already told me that this was going to be parallel. My next one has a y-intercept of negative 6, so I'm going to go down 6. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6. Same slope, so I'm going to go up 3 over 4, rise 3, run 4, negative 3, so down 3 over 4 is the same. What are we saying? Parallel, perpendicular, coinciding, neither. Parallel. So if I were you, I would just go like this. That means parallel. Now, be careful. Do I want you to write this? Why can we not write this one?
11.
That looks like 11, doesn't it? So just be careful. When you're using parallel shorthand, it's got to be like this. Tilted. Oh gosh, now it's not even attached. We're getting rid of it. We're getting rid of it. Go on, get. Okay. Write a, ooh, this goes back to, this is like a nice little review for you. Point slope form, you guys, is also from the quiz. And it goes through this point and it also is perpendicular to this line. For point slope form, we need a point. Got it. We also need a slope. What are we doing for slope? How am I going to get slope here? You could, but then we would have no variables, actually. Let's go get this into y equals mx plus b. And then that m is going to be that slope. I agree. Are you guys down? Oh, we could subtract 2x and subtract 8. That's a lot to move. Peyton said, let's just move the 5y. It's less to move. I dig that. I'm even going to put that 5y in front. Whoa. In front, even though I'm moving it to the other side. So if I added 5y, what's left over here? Thanks, Peyton. And then divide by 5, y'all. 2 over 5x plus.
I said 1.6.
Oh, yeah, you could totally say that. 8. Yep, good call. So the only thing that we really wanted to grab from this was what? The slope. The slope was 2/5. They want the slope to be perpendicular. So what's my perpendicular slope going to be? And I'm going to write myself a little note. The perpendicular slope would be opposite reciprocal. Negative 5 over 2. You got it. Perfect, Fem. Okay, can we now apply this slope and this point to point slope form, which was this equation? Let's go plug in that point. You guys, this would turn into y plus 7 or minus 7? You know it. Equals, what's my new slope? You got it, times x. Done. Boom, 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 boom. Psh. Good job. Okay, let's end with these two problems. It says, determine the equation of the, perpendicular bisector. Perpendicular bisector of the line segment with these endpoints 3, 4, and 11, 18. They're already graphed there. Determine the equation of the perpendicular bisector. What does perpendicular bisector mean?
Where it
Slices it through
It makes a 90-degree angle.
90-degree angle, and it's happening
right in the middle.
right in the middle. So we got to go find, for us to write the equation of this green line, wouldn't we need to find a point on that green line and the slope of that green line? Can I use that blue line to start out? How could I find this? I'm going to put it in black. Point, which you guys said was in the middle.
Do we change from y over change y?
That would get me my slope. We could start with the slope. That's cool. Let's find the slope of, that's going to be ST. You're saying change a y over change an x totally? Since we're given a graph, could we just go rise over run? And notice the scale. Oh, it's kind of in the middle. What are we rising? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 over 2, 4, 6, 8? Is it 14 over 8? Or we could have done y minus y, 18 minus 4 is 14, 11 minus 3 is 8. Good. So we got 14 over 8. What's that going to simplify to? 7/4. Appreciate you. That's the slope of the blue line. Then I like to write myself a note. The perpendicular slope would be -4/7. Peyton said the opposite and the reciprocal. Beautiful. That's the slope. To go point slope form, we need a point. How are we going to find that point? We're going to find the midpoint, then we're going to put it into point slope form.
Is there a midpoint on that?
There is. Yep. So the midpoint formula is just kind of the average of this. If I gave you 2 tests, how would you figure out your average score? Add them up and divide by 2. Guess what we're going to do to find the average of this point? Add it up, divide by 2. Just add the x's up, find their average, then do the y's, and then we've got the point. So let's maybe just remind yourself, midpoint is, boop, adding up the x's and divide by 2, adding up the y's, divide by 2. Here we go. Let's find that midpoint. What would we say x plus x is? Yeah?
X2x. Oh,
Uh-huh.
the actual x.
The actuals.
14.
Yeah, 11 plus 3, and I'm just going to write it out in case anyone needs it. 11 plus 3, or 14 over 2. And my y's? You know it, girl. 18 plus 4 divided by 2. So my actual midpoint is how much? 711. So you guys, now do we have a point? Do we have a point on this green line? It was 711. Do we have a slope of the green line? Yeah, it was this one. So our answer might look different than Kate's. We're going to come back to Kate's thought again. What would a equation of this green line be? Y minus 11 equals my slope times x minus, perfect. If Kate's like, you chumps, we don't have to do all that work to get that exact point. This line would still go through that point if I use this or this point. Kate, do you feel like using 2:14 or 12:8? Sure. She says, let's use this one because it doesn't matter. If we use the point 2:14, Kate's equation would be y minus 14 equals the same slope, -4/7, x minus 2, and both of these would be right. This one says, for what value of k is this equation parallel to this equation? And then for what value of k are they perpendicular? For lines to be parallel, what do we know about their slopes? They're the same. So can I go, let's start with this one. Let's go get the slope of this one. Subtract 8x or add 14y. What do you want to do first? Yeah. Add 14y. And that would equal
8x plus 3.
8x plus 3. Let's go find that slope. Y would equal, dividing by 14 would get me 8/14, which we could say is 4/7. Love it, you guys. I like to simplify my fractions when I can. Okay, so my slope is 4/7. Can we also go get this into that slope-intercept form? Just be mindful that we got a k instead of an actual number, which is fine. Do we want to subtract kx or add 7y on that one? I dig it. Let's add 7y. So we got 7y equals positive kx or negative kx? Positive kx plus 10. Divide by 7. Be careful how we write this. How do you want to say it? Over here we said 8/14 turned into 4/7 x. What could we say over here? K/7 x. Exactly. K over 7 x. Plus, I don't really care. We've got a 10/7 then. Boom. So it was like, okay, well, for them to be parallel, 4/7 has to equal K/7. For what value of K would K/7 equal 4/7? It was like, oh, they just got to match up. So K is going to be 4. Let's say if you didn't see it or if it wasn't that clear, since they're fractions that are equal to each other, we could cross multiply, and that would get us 7K equals 28. Divide by that 7, and that's where we'd get K is 4. But when you see it like that, perfect. You don't need to show any more work. So for it to be parallel, K would be 4.
I kind of saw it be.
Or the perpendicular slope, perpendicular lines. What would the perpendicular slope need to be perpendicular to this guy? -7/4. So this is where it's a little funky. Tay, do me a fave. You just hop in with us right here, then you can backdate the parallel stuff. If they're perpendicular, my slope has to be -7/4. What's my slope over here? Say the whole thing. K over 7. My slope over here is K over 7. So you guys, you're saying my slope of K over 7 needs to be equal to this perpendicular one this time, which was -7/4. I'm going to say that one more time. The original guy, his slope is K/7. For this equation to be perpendicular to this one, this slope, K/7, has to be equal to this opposite reciprocal. So I'm going to say, when does K/7 equal the opposite and reciprocal? Let's cross multiply that guy. What's that going to get me? 4K equals -49. Thank you. Divide by 4. I don't care what that simplifies to be. You can leave it as improper. We can just say, oh, as long as K is 49/4, we're good. Little ACT prep. What would I do with these values? Just gotta plug them in, don't we? My F was 450, so I'm going to say 450 equals. They say, what is C? I don't know. What's my D?
10.
And I got to cube it. What's 10 to the third? And if you're like, 10 to the second would be 100. Yep, we're going to just add that 0 on. So we'd have 1,000 C. And when I divide by 1,000, just a reminder, you can cross out zeros. And I'd be left with 45 over 100. Anyone have an idea which one that one is? Yes, 45 hundredths is 0.45. Could you have used a calculator to do that for you? Of course. Just a little practice.